Hello and welcome to my second Flutter video. In the previous video, I compared React Native with Flutter. Because I come from background of React Native and I have done development in React Native for almost 2 years. So I just wanted to share what I feel about React Native and Flutter and its differences, and that's why you must see my previous video and you will find it very helpful to choose the platform for your next app development. In this video, I am going to build a Flutter app from scratch, and we will be doing something that is needed in almost all apps. That is, we will fetch data and we will render it, and we will also use one Flutter control, that is the date picker control. So let's get started. So first we will go to Flutter documentation and we will click on get started, and it gives us an option that on which platform we want to set up Flutter. So I will be using macOS, so let me select macOS, and I have already installed the Flutter on my system, so I won't be doing it again, but the installation and setup of Flutter is very straightforward, and the Flutter team has very well explained the steps on how to set it up. Only thing that you will find a little tricky is setting up the environment variable, that is the path, and for me it is the root directory that works. I think you have to play around a little to find the correct way to set up the path. I think rest of the things are pretty straightforward, and once everything is set up correctly, the Flutter commands will start working. And the Flutter doctor command is something that is used to check if everything is working correctly, and also it gives the stats of the current setup environment. So you can just go you can just follow the steps one by one, and you will I think make it out like how the setup process is. It's pretty straightforward and easy. So let's move forward. Let me open the command prompt. That is the terminal on macOS, and let me first. So this is the command. I have still not set up the path permanently. There are steps to set up the path permanently, but I'm still setting it up temporarily every time I have to use it. But you can like go for either of the option, whichever is suitable for you. So my path is now set up, and my commands will now start working. So first I will fire the Flutter doctor command to show you the stats, and I will be using my Android phone to run the app. You can, I think that is the best way, and that is the fastest way to do the development. There are other options like you can go for the simulator or emulator, but for me I think the phone works best, so I would also recommend you the same. So you can see that it has started giving the summary, and my Android environment is pretty much ready. iOS is still not set up, but you can see the Android and the web environment for Flutter development or Dart development is pretty much ready. So we will be doing here an Android app, and I think with little tweaks I think it works on iOS also, because we are using a cross-platform technology. So the command to create a new app is flutter create, and let's name our app as product views. So basically we will be displaying the or rendering the name of the product with its view counts, which we will be getting from an endpoint. So I think it doesn't matter like the logic behind like how we are getting it. We just have to use an endpoint. We just have to make sure that there is an endpoint, and the format of data will be JSON, and that's pretty much it. So let's first create the app. So it's done. You can see like how fast Flutter is. I think in terms of performance, I think I found Flutter pretty much good and much better than React Native in terms of performance. But yeah, the development cycle and the learning curve is something that is not at par with React Native, and that is what I have discussed in my previous video also. And so our app is ready, and what we will do is that from here onwards we will use the code editor to work on the app. So we will be using Visual Studio, and let's open Visual Studio. If we list the directories, we can see our new app. So you can see here that product views name directory has been created, and if we go into product views, so this is the directory structure or the project structure of the new Flutter app that has been created for us. So let's continue things with Visual Studio. So this is our Flutter app. Okay, so this is the directory structure, and basically we will be dealing with the lib directory, and inside lib directory there is a main.dart file that has been created for us. So mostly everything that we will do will be inside the lib directory only. Skeletal app has been created for us. We can see the code here. It's pretty much like the base code that is there, but we can even like remove this code and we can do it everything from scratch.